Recently you sat down for a YouTube conversation about Hewitt Hall, and like I still have trouble calling it Hewitt Hall. To me, it's Hewitt Union. I know it's a brand new building. I get it, but it's just in my mind still Hewitt Union. Um, and you mentioned the term artistic convergence. So
Yes,
how does Hewitt Hall facilitate that artistic convergence?
that's a great question. So, you guys will know that the history of SCMA is that it's probably not okay for me to use this term, but we defected from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences and we built our own little empire. And the goal was always to lean into interdisciplinary work. So many, it's not common, I will say, in academe for people to want to mix with one another. They very often want to stay in their silos. They want to build their own kingdoms and they want to just do, their one thing really well, where we've always been so much more inclusive. And because we know that when it comes to the disciplines that comprise SCMA, now CMA, or CCMA. We're going by CMA, so your listeners know. Um, we've always been inspired by one another and we've always wanted to collaborate with one another. And that's where that idea of artistic convergence comes to mind. So we certainly are very heavy in visual communication and visual arts. That is primarily what we do in our college with but a real attention to history and theory and critical thinking and critical studies, frankly, and all of that. So it's the mixing of all of that that leads to this idea that we've always had of artistic convergence. And we're trying to get people to start calling Tyler and Hewitt together as the arts corridor. We're working on that. We're workshopping that one to see if we can get some mileage out of that, just to bring home that the arts are alive at Oswego, and there's lots of different ways for you to interpret what that means, and whether it's more visual art, which we would potentially include broadcast and filmmaking in that, but also studio art, music, theater, more traditional forms of communication, all of that. So it really is again that mixing of the programs that we've always been striving for. And now when you have a building where you are physically mixing, that's what brings about that artistic convergence.